Season 5 of The Boys is about to be a straight up bloodbath, and at this point, nobody is safe. Not the heroes, not the villains, not even the people who we feel are untouchable. So today, we're going to call it out: who lives and who dies. Does Starlight and Huey get a happy ending? Does Homelander make it through the whole season? Let's find out here. Like, subscribe, comment. This is Minor League Films. It's Scotty. Got my boy Flyknit J next to me. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with our 100% safe category. Who makes it out the whole season? Not a scratch on them, not a missing arm, missing leg, missing toe. I'm just give you who's on the last of my list. Huey. I don't think, like, if they were to kill off Huey, I don't think a lot of people would really care. That's just me. You think people would care if Huey died? I think he's safe.
I think some people care about the love story of Huey and Starlight. So I don't know if he's 100% safe. I mean, I go 100, but yeah, I think people would care. So I think that makes him safer than some of the other characters on the list.
Okay. For some reason, I used to care about Huey once the love story was going on. Once we got into the whole battling and everybody's getting powers and fighting, and he's still the only lame guy that's just like, hey, I got a plan. I'm not very durable. I'm like, he can go. That's just me. I'm just speaking for me.
I mean, I think he's one of the more complex characters in the show, to the point where he's been the heart of the show at points, or he's had to take that turn to be a darker character because of need, basically, and being around Butcher, who's just a bad influence, who certainly wouldn't be in my safe list either. But I think I can see him being safe, and I do hope him and Starlight have a happy ending. That's a good question. Do you think him and Starlight have a happy ending? Let us know in the comments. But I kind of want that for them, because I feel bad of the transformation we had to go to because of what they've done to him, and he just got mixed up in a world he never wanted to be in.
Okay, so your list, you probably put him like a 50-50 or something.
He probably more 50-50, but for a collective list, we'll say he's safe.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to kill him off at all. Next on my list, I have MM. I see he still has a family to go back to. Hasn't made a whole bunch of big mistakes. He's the heart and soul of a team. I don't see him going anywhere. He's really the only member of the boys who has something to go back to.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think going into season 5, it would have been one of the two. It's either Frenchie or MM. You like them both for the emotional aspect of the show. I think you have to have one go. And because of the first 2 episodes of season 5, you see very much differences. MM is depressed. He's drinking. He's had a rough time. And Frenchie's out here in love. He's emotionally high, and that is a setup for a blatant switch when the season ends. The other person's probably not. One of them is not going to be there, and it's probably going to be Frenchie because he's so happy right now and in love, and that is just a cue not to survive a show like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think as soon as I saw Frenchie, being happy and not drinking as much or doing any other substances he used to do, I said, oh yeah, they're gonna get rid of him because he's way too happy.
Too happy. And you also gotta follow the old trope. If they killed a black dude, people gonna be mad. So that's fun back in the day. It's like, oh, he's definitely dead. That's a minus. Today it's like, we gonna get complaints if we do this. He's gotta live. That's a plus. So just a funny thing to have in there.
Remember when we were kids, it was act 1, scene 1.
Oh yeah, you're done. now it's a throwback if you do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got Huey and we got MM. Next, I have Ashley. I don't see any reason for Ashley to go. She's a vice president now. She's kind of staying out of the way of any danger. I don't think Sage is going to put her in any danger. I feel like at the end of this show, Ashley's going to be at like the top of the world, may even be the president, and is actually trying to make the world a better place because she went through all this.
Yeah, Ashley's a complex one. So you wrote this list down, so you have her safe. I could somewhat agree with that. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I feel like Ashley is 50-50, but you're right. I felt like during a lot of this show, while she was not the main bad character, she was very complicit. and she's treated some people, and even you see that even spilling over to Gen V. She's treated some people terribly because of the higher push that was on her and the people that were influencing her. Now it does feel like she's trying to turn it around and do something better and kind of actually help people, even with her newfound power and things like that. She feels like she can do more, and she actually wants to help people instead of just be under control of Homelander. So I would have her between here and 50-50, but I guess of the people I think that's safe, she's probably the least likely safe, but safe is still in that phrase.
Okay, I got you. See, I think she's the safest one on the list, but I got you. Next, who is safe? We already think Frenchie's probably going to be the one to go. I think Kimiko is going to be safe. Safe to wander the world with no love ever in her life, ever. Big crying scene last episode when Frenchie dies. Blah, blah, blah. Revenge, blah, blah, blah. 5 years later, I'm still holding whatever charm Frenchie gave me, and I'm on a boat somewhere gazing into the sunset. End credits.
Yeah, I like that. I think one, they've already made it. It's really hard to kill Kimiko unless you deliberately, like, you probably have to chop her up and spread her body. You know, people like those characters, you got to chop them up, spread their body parts all over the planet for her not to come back and survive. Because she is probably one of the most safest powers to have in the show. So, yeah, I think so. I don't think they'll ever kill a couple. I think that kind of defeats the emotional aspect of the show, of any show, basically. So you got to kill one. I think we gave it to MM. We said Frenchie's more so, even though that's a character I wouldn't want to see die, because again, we like those both very well. But I'm with you. If he does die, which we'll see, where we have him later in the list, because maybe I disagree with you a little bit, but I think Kimiko's pretty safe on the safer side. Because she's just hard to kill, and two, because Frenchie is in a vulnerable position the way we have our list.
Okay. And last on the list, and this is going to be a curveball. This is the one I'm sure you'll disagree with me on, is I think the Deep's going to make it. I don't think people think Homelander's going to end up killing the Deep because he can't accomplish whatever little petty mission he has. I think the Deep is actually going to survive. And again, kind of on the not the same vein as Ashley, but I think maybe he'll be like, man, maybe I should have shown some courage and help people. Maybe he'll have some kind of stupid little business because he has a whole bunch of stupid business adventures that he does and silly stuff. I don't think he's going to die. I don't see it. Even if I see him fighting our heroes in one episode or two, I don't even think they're going to kill him.
Yeah. I think everybody watching the video agree with you. I mean, I agree with you. I think we talked about it in a review of the first 2 episodes. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do that. But yeah, we said we think the Deep is going to have some level of hero moment in the show. And I think that of the first couple episodes, one of probably the best scenes was that moment between him and A-Train. And A-Train finally took the turn of like, okay, I'm not going to let my fear of Homelander dictate me not, trying to be a hero and doing what I want to do and trying to help out to solve this problem. And I think the Deep is going to feel that. And then he's like, oh, A-Train was stupid for turning on us. And later it might start eating at him. And I think he will get some level of a hero moment. And also, too, think along with Kimiko, the Deep had something that also makes him safe. He's anywhere near water, he's going to be hard to get to. So if he turns on Homelander, if he jumps in the ocean and just starts swimming, I don't think anybody can really get to him. So
I think Homelander can get to him, but do we think that Homelander is going to get to him? I think Homelander is going to have way bigger fish, pun intended, way bigger fish to fry than the Deep.
Yeah, it depends on how they do that moment, because that moment, Homelander just beeline for A-Train. It was like he was stuck. I feel like if he did the same thing with the Deep, and the Deep is near some area where he can get to the ocean, it's like, you may know better because you read the comics, but I don't know how deep in the show, how long Homelander can swim, how deep he can go into the ocean, like how long can he hold his breath? Like, is it worth it? He's gonna have to fight a lot of animals, a lot of sea creatures to get to him, because basically the Deep at that point can control everyone. Like, is that worth him? And I don't think he would do it. So, and that may not be the moment. I'm just saying that for example. But yeah, I think the Deep will get a good hero moment in here, redemption. And like I said, if it wasn't for that SA scene with Starlight at the very beginning of the show, probably most people have forgot about by now. There's probably nothing the Deep's done where you're like, I hate that guy. It's more like this mumbling idiot, and he's funny on screen. So yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so that's the safe list. Ashley, MM, Kimiko, Deep, and Huey.
Now, I don't know if you agree or disagree.
Yeah, and now let's go to our 50-50. People that may die, they're like teetering the line of life and death. I'm gonna start it off hard. I'm gonna go hard with it. Homelander, 50-50.
Okay, that's a surprise.
It could be a final battle at the end which I don't think it's going to be any of our heroes killing Homelander or fighting Homelander. We're going to get into another video separately, but it could be. Some people even suspect it could be Ryan, switching out into the Black Noir suit, eventually killing his father or trying to kill his father. I am on the line of I think they're going to take away his powers at one point. Okay. They're going to find a way that maybe that virus takes away his powers permanently, and once his powers are gone, I don't think anyone's going to kill him. I think that because the worst thing can do to Homelander is make him a regular human, not killing him. Making him live as a regular human is the worst thing you can do to him. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and we kind of alluded to that with that scene with him in A-Train, where he was like, "You take your powers away, what are you?" Yeah, I think most people will think the entire plot of the show has been to kill Homelander since episode 1. So I do think most people will think if the boys win and they find a way to win, which I guess we probably all assume they will win in some shape, form, or capacity, it will result in the death of Homelander. But I'm with you. One, we have the characters from Gen V in here. What does that mean? It means Marie's on board. And I don't want to keep complaining about this, but I'm still upset Thomas Godolkin isn't around, because I feel like that would have been the bonus for him to train Marie or help her a little bit for her. Because right now, I feel like her main thing here, take the V out of somebody's blood. Could she do that with Homelander? Yes. If she's able to do that, it would be great. I just wish I got a little more build up to like her powers development. Maybe they'll show it in some other capacity, but her being able to do that. So I think that's going to be her purpose in the show. And I'm with you. I think the worst prison sentence for Homelander is to take away his powers and just make him normal, because his emotional state is so bad that a much bigger death is like, I control everything. Now I don't control anything, and my emotional state is awful. And maybe that'll change. Maybe he'll lose his powers, and then he'll have, and his emotional state will get better because he's normal. He has to talk to people. People aren't so scared of him. And some people may be like, you know what? You're not that bad. And kind of like it would get a kind of a turnaround from home, because I felt like Homelander has been on two sides here. I feel like at times, like, he's a terrible person because of his powers, but it's like, man, I understand it because of the way you grew up. And it's like, if you take his powers away and make him adapt in other ways, maybe we'll get he ain't scary because he ain't got no powers, but also we can kind of twist it and have a turnaround for a character we all have hated at plenty of moments in the show, and make him kind of like, oh man, I feel bad for him. And now he's finally understanding like what, the audience has been feeling for him all this time. It has a turnaround to being like, okay, I'm glad he had somewhat of a decent ending. So I'm 50-50.
Okay. I like that. I think we're going to agree on that one. Next on the 50-50, I have Sage. I think whatever plan she has, I think she's had to tweak it multiple times. I don't think any part of her plan involves Homelander or any other suit just being the head honcho or anything. I think now that she's had to tweak it for Godolkin, she has had to tweak it for Homelander because Homelander is just stupid. I think now she's going to probably position someone else, and there's not that many evil people left that have been like on the head honcho. So maybe Sage will say, you know what? I've been working with idiots this entire time. It's time for me to do something. And maybe I can kind of do a double cross and make an actual more decent place for the humans to live in. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't see Sage dying. I don't see it.
I am very much on the 50-50. Like you, I think you change the show around. The plan was to kill Sage. She's so smart, and they've written her so smart that she's just hard to kill. I mean, we've even seen her shot in the head and was like, oh, well, that's that. And then she's like, nope, I'm back. So you can't shoot her in the head and kill her. I mean, obviously that's her power for safety. I don't know how invulnerable she is to everything else, but at least we do know that. Yeah, I think she'll have a get out card for everything people try to pull in on her. I don't think Homelander at any point will try to kill her. I think that'll be, but I think if he does have a turn on her, she has a contingency plan. We talked about Black Noir and stuff that could be. We'll get into that later, but Yeah, I think she has a contingency plan just for everything that makes her hard to kill. Also, I don't think she's an unlikable character, so people aren't going to be pissed if she survives. And honestly, maybe she has, again, her own game out there. There's something she's chasing that's completely different than everybody else. And that could be the third side that a character like Godolkin isn't around to do. So, yeah, I like that. I think it's 50-50, and I think she's going to be very hard to kill even if they try to do it.
Okay. Next one on my list of 50-50, I got Butcher. If Butcher dies, I feel like there is almost, I'm not gonna say no impact, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lower impact because of all the bad stuff he's done in the last season and a half. I feel like it's gonna be a lot lower of an impact than any other member of the boys if he dies. So I think the best impact for the show would be for him to actually live and see could be 2 or 3 of the boys die, and then he'll have to live with that forever long he has left. I think that's the best possible outcome because him dying, yeah, Huey's going to miss him, and maybe MM because MM's going to be left. But who else?
That's a good question. That would have been, I mean, that would have been a bigger drop than the Homelander one that you had at the beginning. That was the bomb. See, I think Butcher's cooked. I think one. I mean, there's a couple of factors out there. One, I don't know how this cancer thing has gone. We talked about it in the first couple of episodes. It doesn't seem to be affecting him right now. But they got to have some. You can't introduce that and then just take it away. There's got to be something there of like either he figured it out or maybe we'll get that in later episodes. But that's still out there. Number two, I think his plan is so hell bent in getting after Homelander and killing all Supes that it's gonna get him killed, and I just think that's gonna happen regardless. And I don't really think there's a redemption arc for this character to like. He would just be mad if he survived. He screwed everybody over. He's used everyone, and I think he put the nail in the coffin from season 1 of like my plan is to kill the superhero or the Supes at all costs, and at all costs he probably planned on dying when he did that. So. Okay. I just don't know how it would be in a world where Butcher lives and survives it. So I would have him 100% dead, but let me know if you agree in the comments.
So we disagree so far just on Butcher. I got him at 50-50. You think he's 100% dead. Last on this list, and there's a reason why he's last on this list. We're making a video about him soon, is Black Noir. He's 50-50 only because it depends on who's going to be under the mask. They've already alluded to some things like his behavior has changed. He stopped talking. Some people said maybe it's because he's in a method acting. I don't think so at all. They've made too many comments about him being different. And he's going to a different place every single day. No one knows what that is. I think it could be someone else under the suit, or I think maybe the motives of whoever's under the suit may have changed. Could be Sam. I'm thinking it could be Sam. At one point might be Ryan. So I think it's 50-50. I think if it is regular old Black Noir and they're not going with the comics at all, then I think he could die. But if it's Black Noir and we don't know who's under the mask, it's one of like the 3 or 4 people we could think it is, I think he lives.
Yeah. We'll have this in a separate video. So hit the sub button so you can check that out. But there's about 5 characters Black Noir can be. So depending on who it is right now, it's like you can't really guess because some characters will be more important. A clone or the OG Black Noir or even the method actor. Expendable characters. If it's Sam, as some people alluded to, I don't think that, but we'll talk about it. Or maybe Ryan. We don't know how much Ryan's grown, and we haven't even seen him yet. So we don't even know where he is. And also, too, we've heard the name said Stan Edgar, who's around somewhere, could be part of his plan. I know people say he should know he's using X-ray vision. Like some people in the comments that respond and say, like, we know when Homelander uses it. Or they could. And I think that'll come up. I think there'll be a time where he tries to use it. And he's like, wait, I can't see. And the dude jumps out the window or something. Black Noir just runs away. So we'll see. We'll talk about it later episode. But not knowing who he is, we can't put it one way or another. So I'm with you 50-50.
Okay. So cool. So that is our 50-50 list. I have Butcher, which is the only one we disagreed on, Homelander, Sage, and Black Noir, depending on who's in the mask. Now we're going to get into who we think is 100% dead. No ifs, ands, buts about it. First one on the list we talked about before, Frenchie. He's dead. No, he's just gone. He's too happy. It's over. Your life is over. You see, last episode, he said, oh, we can plan to go somewhere over here.
Run away.
You're not going to make it.
That's the first rule. No future plan. Like, when we get out, man, when we get done with this, we're going to buy a, like, come on, don't do that. Like, you do that, you're dead. Yeah, I think Frenchie, at this point in the boys, you got to have an emotional death. There has to be somebody that goes that you're upset about. It don't be like talk about Stranger Things where you had plenty of characters on the board and there was no emotion and you cheaped it out. This is the boys. This show runs off of death and killing characters and violence and gore. You got to have somebody. I think Frenchie and MM probably along with Huey are up there on the ones as be like, man, like I didn't want them to go. I mean, even and we talked about it, A-Train, even with him, it was like, man, that one, like you got to have more of that. You got to have those moments with people like that. So I think Frenchie's 100% cooked.
Okay. All right. So we agree on that one. Next, I don't think there's even possible for us to disagree on this character. Soldier Boy is dead. Because he's not going to die from this virus, probably. If he does, it's going to go throughout this next episode. I don't see it because Jared Padalecki is going to be on the show, and you got to have them two together for at least one scene. Don't make no sense to make both of them on there. Not only that, I just don't see his story going anywhere, further in this show. He doesn't have much of a story except for, oh man, I've been double crossed twice. That's his new story, and I don't think he's going to make it out if he goes after either side. So he's gone. They already have a prequel show coming out for him that's going to be like 3 seasons. He's gone. There's no, if they're not going to have any show after this or anything after this in the future, he's gone.
Yeah, I agree. It's more so that he doesn't have any kind of story after this. And I'm like, if there's no place to go with the character, there's no point. I think there will be a different version of the boys that comes out. I mean, I just saw they have those characters from Gen V, who I think mostly will make it out of this. There probably should all of them, and it goes somewhere with that. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't know where the story would go after this, so I think at some point he's got to die in season 5.
Okay. And the last one on my 100% dead list is Firecracker.
Yeah,
I know.
The asshole. She's got to go.
She's just a jerk. She's just a jerk who's been by Homelander's side. I can see her fighting by his side up until the very end, and then finally Starlight punches a hole in her head or something. It's like, yeah, it's over. We gave you a chance. You didn't take it. You decided to still be a jerk.
Okay, yeah, yeah, they gotta kill Firecracker. She's gotta go. Yeah. She's gotta go. So I'm with you there. No ifs or buts with that one.
All right, so our list of 100% dead: Soldier Boy, Frenchie, and Firecracker. Now, I got my surprise list. This is we're gonna call this, since we're minor league films, we're gonna go call it the big swing. The big swing that the showrunners can take on just killing off an emotional character that we could have never guessed. And I only have 2. First one is Starlight. Get her out of here.
Okay. I was wondering when she was going to pop up here. I was like, she got to come here somewhere. I think Starlight is safe. That's where I would have had her. I would have had her on my safe side. I don't think they're going to kill her. One, I think Huey's a lot more at risk than Starlight to die. And like I said, with couples, you can't kill them both. But I also think you can't kill every couple in the show. So if we think Frenchie and Kimiko are, one of them is cooked, which probably is Frenchie. I don't think Kimiko will die. Then you can't kill Annie or Huey. I think one of the 4 will die. You can't kill more than one. So I think Starlight would be in my safe. I was wondering why she didn't appear in yours. Thought she would appear in the desk, but you say you had an extra, so I'll let you have that. But yeah, I think she's safe. I think she's pretty safe, and she's hard to kill.
I don't think she's gonna be that hard to kill. I think you find somebody
outside of Homelander.
Find somebody with similar durability and strength to her, which seems to be quite a few people. Hit her head a bunch of times, then she'll be dead. I think she's already going through some stuff, and we already said a lot of times you're going through depression and stuff. You live. I think it's going to be opposite with Starlight. I think if you kill her off, she already has on her mind the best thing she can do for the people that she's already in her mind had killed is to die. I can see her going out fighting somebody like a Homelander and dying in some epic fight. And then I don't think it's going to be the last episode. I think it's going to be like an episode or 2 before that. And maybe that hardens Huey a little bit. Maybe it hardens him enough where he's angry at Butcher and Homelander. And he goes off and does something extra heroic because she died.
Maybe. I mean, that would be a big swing. I think Starlight will make it. I think, I don't know. I mean, I think Huey's going to have to kill Butcher regardless. I think Butcher just go off the deep end. That's why I was surprised you had me in your 50-50. I think Butcher's going off the deep end, and this V and all this stuff will affect him to the point where he's like he can't be around. So I think that'll be the emotional end for Huey, is killing Butcher, a guy who he's probably idolized since he started hanging out with him. He's like, well, I was just a weak guy who couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything about my dead girlfriend. This guy has shown me the way the whole time. And while everybody else, Frenchie are all like, oh, F this guy. Like, you're not a good person. You keep sucking us back in. Huey's been the one to look at Butcher like, no, man, like, you know, we understand why he's doing what he's doing. And regardless, like, it's still Butcher. That's still our guy. And I'm still been rocking with him. And I think it would be more emotional for Huey to have to kill Butcher than for Huey to respond to the death of Starlight in the show as a setup. I think that. So
Depends.
I mean, it does depend, but that's what I think.
Remember, we were born in the 90s. Let me take you back a little bit.
Man, come on. Let's get going. I don't need that. I think she's good. That's a good history lesson.
I gotta take you back to this trope we saw in like 25 movies in a row. Main characters, love interest dies, holds him in his arms, screams no at the top of his lungs, gets that extra boost of agility, strength, whatever, hard mindset, and kills the end guy. I think she's gone, man. I think that would be a big, not that I think she's gone, but I think that would be a big swing. I think that's the most possible in that.
It would be a big swing. I do agree with that. I think he could say no all he wanted. Homelander will smack him halfway across the planet. So
you can't smack someone in the middle of the loud no. It never happens. Okay. You have to let him complete the long no. It's a thing.
It's a big swing. Okay. Audience, we'll ask you. Where do you have her? Do you have her say 50-50? Definitely dead. Where would you put her there? And do you think it's what do you say? It's going to be a big surprise. Just let us know there.
And my last character, who I think is going to be a big swing, is Ryan. I think the kid has been mostly benevolent since he's realized he had powers. He had a little tiny part with Homelander when he was getting to know his dad, realized his dad's kind of evil. I think if you take Ryan out, that's a huge swing because he's just a kid. He doesn't have any involvement in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think the point was to make sure he doesn't grow up and end up like Homelander. I think that was kind of the point in here. I think Ryan's safe. And now, if he ends up under the mask or something, maybe I'll move him to 50-50. But I think he's somewhere between safe and 50-50 in here as far as it goes.
So you caught my drift. You were right there. You were right there, which is going to go into our next video. This is why I have him as a big swing. What if at one point during the show, Ryan really starts to like get on these roids and start bench pressing, fits in that noir suit and says, you know what, I'm going to infiltrate and see what's going on with my dad. He has on a zinc mask so he can't see him, and Homelander puts his fist through his chest, takes the mask off. Follow me. Remember the last character I said, got to have that long no. Homelander lets out the long no, blows up something, and that's what sets Homelander on what we just talked about, on a rampage, because now he killed his own son. Boom. Put me on the show. Put me on the show.
Man.
I mean, let's do it.
It's a good selling point. I would say, like, if Ryan did die, would the audience be that hurt by it? Probably not. No, like, it's not emotional death. Like Frenchie dying, Huey dying. I don't know. You throw some other people in there, like there was Kimiko dying, Starlight, way bigger hits than Ryan. I feel like if you want to give that character some power, it just feels like, I don't know. It depends on where you want to go. It depends on where you want to go after this. When you have this new world order after Homelander loses powers, dies, whatever, at some point, you want Marie running it, and she's at the top with different threats out there. Do you want Marie and Ryan up there as the possibility? Ryan could be the next guy who's in charge of the planet, or if you want a complete start over. But I feel like those Gen V characters are going to move on and do something. So there's got to be some level of new world order. So it just depends on who you want kind of running that. I mean, I think people clearly would love Marie more. She ran. I mean, that's actress and character ran her own show, so she's way more likable than the character of Ryan is. So It could be. I would buy that more than I would buy Starlight. I would say if there's somebody more likely to die, it's Ryan over Starlight, and that's a major swing.
All right, so we only disagreed on 3 on the entire list so far. Like I said, the only reason I have Ryan on there is because that is a perfect reason to have Homelander get sent off the edge. Oh, I killed my son. I also almost sent my father to his death. I have nothing. I have what A Train said playing in my head over and over and over again. Everyone around me leaves me because at one point we know the Deep's probably going to leave him. Everybody except for Firecracker is going to leave him. I think that Ryan thing is the only thing on this whole show that can set him off. I don't think anything else could really set him off like that, other than someone that he cares about dying. He only cares about 2 people: his dad and his son.
Yeah, I think Soldier Boy will already be dead probably the next couple episodes. So I think Ryan will be the last person to be like, this is the only other person I can relate to, and we've already had our good moments, which we've seen on screen, and like killing him. Yeah, and then it would be even worse to have to live his entire life under knowing he killed Ryan. That would be a part of his person. So I like it. I like it.
All right. Well, that is our list of who we think is 100% safe, 50-50, 100% dead, and a big swing for the show if they killed them off. Now,
yeah, I got one quick round for you. Maeve tried to walk into the sunset. Does Maeve come back? Does Maeve? She still got her powers? Still stuff to go down? That's my little extra question for the audience. Does Maeve come back and die in this one? Because right now she's living life good, but it's the boys. She might be needed later.
She's needed now because I was mad when they killed off A Train in episode 1. I said you could have let that man stay in episode 3. Come on, now you got to bring her back. I want somebody else now.
So let me know. But go ahead.
But you found us here on YouTube, Flyknit. Where else can they find us on social media?
Yeah, you got TikTok with Kuronocomics if you want a comic book breakdown. Scott, I don't know if you've done the boys lately, but it's plenty of comic book stuff to go around, and maybe you will since we're in the season. So if you want a comic book breakdown on all things comics and the new stuff coming out, which you should be reading, check that out. MLF Shorts, we have things going around, clips of shows. We have some of the boys stuff in there, some of the Jivvy stuff in there. So that is both on TikTok and then also Instagram. You want to find that. Our personal Instagrams are down in the bio and everywhere you can find us, even our email at minorleaguefilms@gmail.com. So let us know, and don't forget in the comments, let us know. What do you think? What you feeling about the list? Let us know there.
All right. And that's all we got for y'all today. Got more videos coming soon. We got a Who's Under the Mask video talking about Black Noir. We also are going to rank our top 5 characters. So stay tuned for that. And we'll catch y'all next time.